This is a review for Chapter 3, Triangles. In your green reference folder, turn to the third section. These are the basic concepts of Chapter 3. You have triangle classification, triangle sum, exterior angles, isosceles triangles, congruent angles within triangles, side, 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 side angle, side, and angle, side, angle, right triangle congruency, learning about medians and centroids, altitudes and orthocenters, perpendicular bisectors and circumcenters, an angle bisector, and the incenter. Triangle inequalities, how to test for a triangle, how to do coordinate proofs, turn to this section in your video review guide. Please make note of both your location and the date and time that you are watching this. You want to sketch an example of each triangle described. Mark the triangle to indicate what information is known. For a right scaling triangle, it's right, and scaling means none of the sides are equal. So if you make a right triangle with 3 unequal sides, you can even distinguish it using distinguishing hatch marks. That is a right scaling triangle. Equilateral, that means equal, and lateral means sides. So an equilateral all 3 sides are equal. Number 5, we're going to solve for x here. And the trick to this is to look for, we're going to first find vertical angles. So this is going to be 6x minus 2, and if that's a right angle, 90 degrees. Now we have everybody within one triangle, so we can add that up to 180. So we can go 6x minus 2 plus 7x plus 1 plus 90 equals 180. We're going to collect like terms. And we get 13x plus 89 equals 180. Minus 89 both sides. 13x equals 91. Divide by 13, and we get x equals 7. Now we're not done because we want to find all possible angles. So here we have 6 times 7 minus 2 is 42 minus 2. This is 40. That's 90. That has to be 7 times 7 plus 1. That's 50. That's 90. That's 90. This here is 40. And then if you go like this, that's 180, which means this angle on the outside is 140. And this angle over here is 140. Now we have maximized and found all angles in this diagram. Here we want to find the measure of all possible angles and then note especially the required angle listed. So the basic concept here is if you have an exterior angle, that's this angle on the outside, it equals the sum of what's called the remote interiors added together. So if we look here, 116 is our exterior angle. These two angles are the remote ins. So we're going to add those. And so we have 116 equals 17x minus 2 plus 11x plus 6. We collect like terms. And we have 116 equals 28x plus 4 112 equals 28x. We divide by 28. And we get x is 4. Now you're not done, because it says you want to solve for all possible angles. So here we're going to go 11 times 4, which is 44, plus 6. That makes this is going to be 50. And then we have 17 times 4 minus 2. That's going to be 68 minus 2. This is 66. And then this angle right here is going to be 64. And then this on the outside, you take 50 away, this is 130. Now we found all possible angles. It asks us to specifically find the measure of angle Q, which we have done. Measure angle Q is 66 degrees. Says here to write a statement that indicates that the triangles in each pair are congruent. For so this, you want to align the vertices. We see our first here is W, our second sweep is V, and our triple sweep is U. So we're going to have triangle W, single sweep, V, double sweep, U, triple sweep, is congruent to triangle, single sweep, U, double sweep, L, triple sweep, M. So you match the vertices. Number 11, you're going to state if the two triangles are congruent. If they are, show how. So there's 4 ways triangles can be congruent. Side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. And when you're doing this, you want to look for 2 primary freebies. One is vertical angles. Those are always congruent, even if they're not marked. The second would be a reflexive side, where the side is congruent to itself down the middle. So taking a look at 11, let's first mark any freebies, and we have here, we see that we have an angle. So in number 11, we have an angle. And we see here we have a pair of sides, and here we have a pair of sides. And if you look very closely, this angle is not sandwiched between the sides. It's not right there. So this cannot be angle, side, angle. Instead, what we have going on here technically is two pairs of sides and then an angle. And this does not work. The triangles are not congruent if it is side, side, angle. Here is an illustration. This shows us why side, side, angle does not work, because it doesn't force the triangles to be congruent. Two sides and a congruent angle, you can have two different situations. So side, side, angle does not work. Let's take a look at 13. In 13, we have a pair of angles. We're going to put an A. We have another pair of angles. We're going to put an A. And then a pair of sides, we put an S. This, we have two pairs of angles and then a side. This is going to be angle, angle, side. I call that a tail. Angle, angle, side. Number 15, we have a pair of sides. We have another pair of sides, and then we have an angle sandwiched in between them with a vertical angle, so this shows side, angle, side. You need to mark the diagrams with S's and A's to represent sides and angles. Number 17, we have a pair of reflexive sides down the middle, and we have another pair of sides here and another pair of sides here. So this is going to be side, side, side. Number 19, we want to find all possible angles in the diagram marked directly. After finding the desired angle measures, find X. So take a look at 19. When you have two equal sides, you automatically have two equal angles. So if we go like this, if we follow those arrows, we know this right here also has to be 56. And then if you add 56 and 56, equals 112. Take that away from 180. And we're going to get 68. So this angle right here is going to be 68. Then we see here we have 90 degrees. So you take 56 away from 90 degrees. And we have 34. Now follow the hatch marks again. We have right here. So that means this is 34. And we add 34 and 34. Get 68. Take that away from 180. And that means angle 2 here is 112. And you want to look for linear pairs. We have this is 180. So we're doing 180 minus 34. This would be 146. And then here, if this is 56, we come over here, and that equals 180. And you take away 56. And this angle on the outside is going to be 124. Now we look at what we're being asked to find. Angle 2 is right here. Angle 2 is 112. So I bring the 112 here. Equals 123 plus x. We're going to solve for x by minusing 123. We get negative 11. Number 21, it says each figure shows a triangle with one of its angle bisectors. Find the value of x and the measure of all possible angles. So if this is an angle bisector, I'm going to stretch it out. I'm going to write bisect on it, and that implies angle 1 and 2 are congruent. Now we're going to see what kind of information we're given. The measure of angle 2 is 24x minus 2. That's just angle 2. And we are told that YWX, that's the whole thing, that is going to be 46x. You always want to establish relationship first. Relationship first before you just randomly look at equations. We see here that angle 2 is only half the angle, so it takes 2 of angle 2 to make one of the larger angles, which is YWX. Now you want to plug in your equation. So we're going to have 2 times 24x minus 2 equals 46x. Instead of distributing the 2, I'm just going to divide by 2 and get rid of it. So I have 24x minus 2 equals 23x. Going to minus 23x plus 2 plus 2, and we're going to have x equals 2. And then we plug that in. 24 times 2 is 48 minus 2, so that equals 46. So this angle is 46, this angle is 46, and then of course the larger red angle is 2 times 46, which is going to be 92. Says each of the figures shows a triangle with one of more of its medians. Find x and the measure of all possible segments. There's 2 qualities you need to remember about medians. First quality is that medians smack the midpoint of any opposite side. That's the median. And the second one is when you have multiple medians, if we have a median here as well, where the medians cross is a centroid. When you have the centroid, the relationship produced from the vertex to the centroid will be twice as big as centroid to the midpoint. So we have here a 2x and x relationship. So that's 2 things you need to be considerate of when you have medians, is that 1, you have a midpoint, 2, you have a centroid, and that does 2 different things. So in 23, we want to find S to T if we know C to T is 2x minus 11 and C to S C to S is x minus 2. Well, if this is a midpoint, by definition, a median, by definition, that means C is a midpoint. So these 2 segments are equal. So we have x minus 2 equals 2x minus 11. We're going to get the x's on one side, so I'm going to minus x, and a plus 11, and these cancel, end up with 9 equals x. And then if 9 equals x, I can plug in 9 here and here. In either case, I'm going to get 7, because 9 minus 2 is 7. 2 times 9 is 18, minus 11 is also 7. So I have 7 and 7. I'm asked to find s to t, so 7 plus 7 is going to be 14. Number 25. State if the three numbers can be the measured size of a triangle. The way you test for that is what I call eyebrow, eyebrow, smiley. You add and you compare it to the third. So 5 plus 8 compared to 2. Eyebrow. 8 plus 2 compared to 5. And smiley. 5 plus 2 compared to 8. In order for this to be a triangle, all the additions on the left must be greater than the third. This is going to be 13, so of course that's greater than 2. This is 10, that's greater than 5. This is 7, that's less than 8. So for number 25, it is not a triangle. Number 27. The two sides of a triangle have the following measure. Find the range of the possible measures. We're going to use the same process, eyebrow, eyebrow, smiley, but we have here an x. So here we're going to do an eyebrow. So we have 33 plus 34 has to be greater than x. And we have this, 34 plus x has to be greater than 33. And then smiley, we're going to do 33 plus x has to be greater than 34. So you solve, and here we're going to have 67 has to be greater than x. If we subtract 34, that makes this one negative, so we check it. We cannot have a negative range of numbers here. For here, if we minus 33 both sides, we have x must be greater than 34. X must be greater than 1. So if we were to put it this way, x must be greater than 1, but less than 67. Now that's the long way to do it. Here's the short way. If you want to get a range of numbers, for one range you simply add 39 and 46. That's going to be 85. And then you subtract 46 minus 39. That's going to be 7. And then x is in the middle. So x must be greater than 7, but less than 85. That's the shortcut. And number 31, you want to order the angles in each triangle from smallest to greatest. Well, we have a triangle here, and it's UVW. So we're going to draw this. We don't really know what it looks like. UVW. But we are told that V to W is 9 1/5. And then U to W is 10, and U to V is 4 2/5. Now we're going to order the angles, and the angles follow the order of the sides from least to greatest. So this is the shortest side. Shortest side is across the smallest angle. So our smallest angle is going to be angle W. And then we have our medium side is across from our medium angle, so it's angle U. And then our largest side is across our largest angle, which is angle V. Number 33, again it says order now the sides of a triangle from shortest to longest. So let's draw a triangle. So for here, we want to again draw the triangle. And it's X, Y, Z. So here's X, here's Y, and Z. Now we're going to get our angles in here. X is 60. Y is 46. And Z is 74. We want to go from shortest to longest, so we find the smallest angle. The smallest angle is across the shortest side. So our shortest side is going to be X to Z. And then our medium angle is across our medium side. So that's going to be YZ. And then our largest angle is across the longest side, which is going to be XY. Now it's your job to go back and work on the even problems yourself. Please resist the temptation to look at the answers until you have actually finished the work. Then check your answers in red pen and correct your work. That is the most effective way to study for this section.